We have an update on a WWE star after a scary NXT botch. Plus, more on the Charlotte Flair Tiffany Stratton off-script promo situation. And another ex-champion signs a WWE Legends deal. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Last night on NXT, Jordynne Grace faced Jada Parker.
Yeah.
A fun little match between those two, but almost went awry.
Yeah, she went out for a bit of a suicide dive, caught her knees, and then came crashing down at a quite a horrible steep angle. Luckily, Jada Parker was able to kind of try and help slow her fall, but it looked really gnarly, didn't it?
It was not a good look. Now, the match thankfully continued on as expected by all the looks of things. And a little bit later on, after the fact, Jordynne Grace had some fun with it on Twitter. She shared a GIF from Wrestle Purists of the moment it happened with the caption that she wrote saying, "Oh, y'all MFers never seen a real suicide dive?" Oh, bless you.
A fan then commented, "Bro, you okay?" To which she replied, "No, dummy, I'm dead." The fan was just happy to be interacting with Grace, but it's quite clear she is all right, which is good because, any moment like that, it's such a... I think it's like a crazy thing we take for granted now is dives. Like, they can go horrifically wrong, but you see them just all the time. They're becoming like the new connected move, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's rare when they do go wrong like this. It's even more rare when they go wrong like this and everybody's okay. So, yeah.
We as you say, you're right. We take it for granted when we go, okay, during this bit, can you just dive head first through a half-open window?
As you can. Just dive through the window and land sort of in this general area.
If you could do that, that'd be great. Just to touch on it, I think Jordynne Grace has been a marvelous addition to the NXT roster full time.
Yeah.
Just like when she was there last year, she felt like she belonged immediately.
Yeah.
And now she's there full time. I think she's a
mega star, man.
She truly is on the rise as well. Now that match between Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker was going to determine who Stephanie Verkert was going to face at Stand and Deliver next week. However, there was a non-finish because Jada and Jordynne got into a fight with Stephanie. But then, as all that was going on,
Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie. As a short circuit reference. You're welcome. But it led to a return on telly.
So Julia came out. She helped the champ clean house. And just as Julia and Verkert were the last two standing, Verkert looked to welcome the former champion back with pleasantries, but she got cracked with a headbutt, a Northern Lights bomb, and the crowd all went, "What? You can't do that.
You're a goodie. Why you do that?"
It then later got revealed that at Stand and Deliver, we're going to have Stephanie Verkert defending the NXT Women's Championship against Julia, as well as Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker in a fatal four-way match, and that is going to be some match.
That's going to be good times had by all. I'm intrigued to see. I think Julia sort of painted in a heel role here. I wonder whether it might end up being a bit more of a tweener type position for Julia, sort of finding her feet into
shades of grey in that.
Shades of grey.
I'm just sort of open to anybody trying new sort of sides to the character, especially in NXT.
On a show run by Shawn Michaels. Let's get somebody with shades of grey. He was there during the Attitude Era when all that was happening. Well, the pre-Attitude Era, sort of 97, when everybody is shades of grey in wrestling. Yeah. So let's do that here. So on Friday on SmackDown, you and Fraser talked about this at great length. The Charlotte Flair
I can't understand it because your squeaky voice. I can't hear you over the booing. They're booing you. They're booing you.
You've been divorced loads. Yeah, well, your boyfriend's messaging me.
Oh,
Bye.
God.
Bye.
It got everybody talking. It achieved that, but oh my God.
Five will select to have more on that off-script Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair debacle on SmackDown, saying the shoot promo was one that people believe Charlotte Flair started. She was the one that kind of, like, she was the Han Solo shot first in this situation.
Yeah, when she referred to herself as the Nepo Queen and started mocking Tiffany's voice, apparently that's the point where it went off the rails. Sources backstage apparently did feel that Stratton needed to fight back after that, but apparently many of them felt it was ill-advised to go as personal as they both did, with Stratton referencing Charlotte's divorces, of course, and Charlotte saying Ludwig Kaiser was in her DMs. Sources backstage close to Fightful had told them the whole thing was a wreck in their eyes, but there were no issues backstage between the two of them afterwards, with many people backstage on Raw getting a laugh out of Ludwig Kaiser being a sport and playing up to the whole incident on Twitter, he posted a Shawn Michaels "Don't flatter yourself"
Not
gif.
flatter yourself. The line from Charlotte Flair, it was PW Insider, sources close to PW Insider, that said it was like a boxer having that last swing, not aware they've already been knocked out.
Yeah, they're already
that's a great way to describe it. Well, you're rubbish and your boyfriend fancies me. That's great.
Well, Ric Flair was also name dropped in the promo, and he's
Shockingly
fired back, hasn't he?
Oh, he has indeed. He was on Busted Open Radio, and he asked for his thoughts on his daughter's work on Friday Night SmackDown. He said, "I didn't like it, but wrestling is wrestling. I hate when they use me, but Charlotte said it right. You think that's the first time hearing my name? I want to clarify this. She is 10 times the athlete I am, so much better of a worker than I ever was. I can't do half the things that she does. She'll be the best worker in the business, female, until the day she decides to retire." Ric Flair went on to say that he'd been involved in unscripted promos in the past, guys like Dusty Rhodes, Terry Funk, but he always said that family stuff was off limits.
Then weirdly, he just looked down the lens and he started saying, "Cena, I swear to God, if you take that title, I'm jumping over that barricade. I will have a cattle prod with me, John. I'll have a cattle prod with me." And then he punched out all the reporters and left.
Funny enough, genuinely, I watched that Busted Open Radio. He's on there going, "Yeah, I think Cody should retain." Of course,
Can't beat my record. I'm the greatest of all time.
I don't think Cena should win. I think it should be Cody.
We should just get him to sign a Legends deal.
We've mentioned this a few times when we've been together. I think you're adamant that Flair's going to jump the barricade with some kind of blunt weapon.
I want the same woman who tried to stop Gronk getting in. She's going to be Flair's personal goalkeeper. If Flair can get past her, then fair play. He can get in the ring and try and attack Cena, and we'll set up next Mania.
What if Flair pins Cena during that main event?
He just comes in and puts his hands on
I'm
top
the
of the
champion
pin
again. Got 2 more to go now. Done it, baby. I come up with something far more spurious for the main event of WrestleMania, which you can watch on the channel right now. It involves CM Punk and Paul Heyman and a lot of shenanigans. Put that out there for you. Meanwhile, the WWE Legends deal locker is growing. New name added according to Fightful Select.
Former WWE Divas champion and 24/7 champion, can't forget that, most prestigious title of the last 10 years. Kelly Kelly has reportedly signed a Legends deal, last competing in the 2022 Rumble. She popped up several times in multi-woman matches in the years prior to that, though, as well.
Yeah, she was very much a feature of the Divas division for a while. I remember, in terms of long before the women's revolution became a thing and female wrestling became more prominent in WWE, you had a story with Kelly and Beth Phoenix and Natalya that was quite captivating.
One of the weirder gimmick names, one of the most memorable. It's up there with all of the most memorable wrestlers because it just stands out and it's so ridiculous.
It's so nice. They named her twice. The Legends deal means WWE will be able to use her likeness, and she'll get paid a little bit of money for doing so. So maybe expect some Kelly action figures, maybe some Kelly merch. I would expect Kelly to be in the DLC of the WWE game as well. Tends to be.
Tom's just throwing things out there.
Just
report them
that
as
out
fact.
there. Report it as, I would look. Let me play as Kelly and beat Roman Reigns in 2K25. That's all I want.
Fair play.
That's all I want.
It's a simple dream.
It's a simple. A man's got a dream.
You can make that happen, 2K.
You can make that happen. On the Cultaholic Wrestling News podcast feed right now, I had a lovely chat with the Progress Wrestling Women's World Champion Nina Samuels. Caught up with her before she flies off to Vegas to defend that title, Progress Las Vegas. She's also defending the Pro Wrestling Eve title against WWE ID potential Izzy Moreno, the Bayley fan, Bayley super fan, in the running to possibly get a deal. But Nina talks about that, and she talks about the origin of a tiny hat. That's on the podcast feed. And later today, you and I are getting back in the studio to record the Cultaholic Classic Nitro review.
Yeah, we've been held up for 2 weeks because of somebody.
Somebody got an ear infection and has just been on death's door for 2 weeks.
People have been waiting for those. We're still in 97.
Mate, we're never leaving 97. We're like trapped in there like some weird Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And that'll be on the podcast feed and the Patreon feed tomorrow for you. But for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.